Fitzpatrick, newly acquired and making his mark.
Welcome, finally, to Season 5 of 5-Star Matchup. If you like this show, make sure you're subscribed now. And please consider joining as a member here on YouTube or over on Patreon, patreon.com/5SMU, for just a couple bucks a month. It really goes a long way, and we appreciate it. Please do it. With this being the stunning 5th season of our show already, it occurred to me that the Steelers will be playing the same NFC teams they did in my first season, back in the cursed Mason Rudolph Duck Hodges year of 2019. I figured that would be a good excuse to fire up the old time machine and take a cringe-inducing look back at the very first episodes of my now beloved show, and maybe we can figure out how we got to where we are today. Or maybe I can mine some easy views out of making fun of myself on the internet. Either way, everybody wins. Let's get to it. So, what's the story of this game? Well, it was week 3 of 2019, and the Steelers had just lost their quarterback, Big Ben, for the season, but had shockingly traded for the disgruntled second-year safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, from the Dolphins. Were things looking up? Down? I really don't know. If you were there, what were you feeling at the time? I just remember being really confused, but kinda hopeful. Welcome to a very special Does Anybody Know What the Hell They're Supposed to Be Doing episode of 5-Star Matchup. If you dig this, please subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Cutting plays together like this cinematically was what got me started doing this show. Chill, low-key intro, though, not gonna cut it. Where's the excitement, Steve?
Garoppolo got it away, it's tipped and intercepted!
I was trying way too hard to be a disembodied voice. Where's the personality? I guess I was shy? Fun fact, this was the first episode that got a few hundred views in the algorithm, and probably why I kept up with this show in the first place. The first couple didn't do so great, and Big Ben had just gotten hurt. The future of this idea was not looking so hot. You understand whose fault this is? Keith Butler and Mike Tomlin. Interjects sarcasm. Okay, I guess I was always the same person. Mark Barron. Gross. First play, receiver comes in motion. 3 dudes stand directly next to one another, and no one is within 7 yards of a guy named George Kittle. Great job. I stopped talking about X's and O's pretty quickly after this. I'm a storyteller who watches a lot of football. I didn't and still don't know enough to act like Brett Coleman Jr. Hey, at least I admit it. Looks to me like the running back should be Joe Hayden's responsibility, but regardless, Bud has pressure in literally what quarter is it?
seconds.
What's the score?
And there's no one within 10 yards of the running back when he catches it. This isn't a screen or anything tricky at all, and no one is even near the running back. I again reiterate, does anyone know what the hell they're supposed to be doing? Was I talking to myself? This one looks to be on Devin Bush. Again, I can't speak to what the coverage was meant to be, but I'm pretty certain that running in a semicircle with his back to the quarterback is probably not how this play is drawn up. Not a good look for the Rook. Damn, I was hating on Devin Bush from day one, eh? I was never fooled. Fumble recoveries and speed don't mean anything if you don't know how to use them. Another pretty damning play here. Simple play action from an I formation leads to 7 Steelers in coverage and just 2 49ers in routes, and they're both open. How they can possibly review this tape and continue to employ Keith Butler is absolutely beyond me. I do still think Keith Butler was never a great defensive coordinator, by the way. He seemed like a great guy, and maybe he would have been good if he got promoted 10 years earlier, but I just think he and even Dick LeBeau, sadly, were of a bygone era by this point. It's just how it goes. Boy, I sure hope the D is better than this next week. Here's maybe the most important play of the game. 3rd and 11, Barron on Kittle, which is already not great. I don't know what I was talking about, but boy did Mark Barron suck. Also, it's the most important play of the game, but yet we have no idea what the score or time in the game is, Steve. I reiterate. Does anyone know what the hell they're supposed to be doing? Rough tackle by the Mink man. Say what you want about Mason, but Ben's offensive line fell off a cliff so fast it was unreal. Back when Juju could still accelerate. Miss that man. Macerud always been able to sling it deep.
We'll never understand why they didn't lean into that more when he played.
And Rudolph drops the dime. I know he's young and the backup, but the kid shows he has ability. You're stuck with him for the whole year anyway, so let him play. Have some guts, Randy.
Also, again, what's the score?
All right, back to 2 bafflers before we leave behind this terrible game that somehow still could have been won if not for these plays. First up, Connor's fumble. There are 8 49ers in the box, all 100% playing their run, and Connor is swallowed up by 3 defenders immediately.
Wait, the Steelers were up with 2 minutes to go? Maybe the viewer would have liked to know that, Steve.
With 2 timeouts in his pocket, Tomlin inexplicably lets the entire play clock run. This is an actual atrocity. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Whether they held them to 3 or let them score 7 as they did, it sure would be nice to have an additional 40 seconds to work with, don't you think? Not only that, maybe the timeout allows you to figure out the defense. Probably not. But regardless, time is everything here, and letting 40 seconds tick off harmlessly is a dereliction of duty. I lied before. One last one. Does anybody know what the hell they're supposed to be doing?
I'm still gonna stand by this rant. Terrible clock management by Mike T, no matter how you slice it. Well, there you have it, the first ever episode of 5-Star Matchup. Did you like it? Should I do more of these? Have you been watching since season 1? If you have, or if you haven't, comment below what was your first memory of seeing 5-Star Matchup? How long have you been watching? What other new formats do you want to see this year? I'm all ears. But until next week, make sure you hop over to patreon.com/5SMU. And please, please, please consider contributing $4 or $7 a month to the show. Really keeps things going. Reminder that I can't make ad revenue off of NFL highlights. So if you want this show to continue, I'm gonna need you to pony up a $5 a month. It's not that much to ask for the content I provide. See you Monday.